Welcome again to some Wargame Airland's battle action on the Karlstad map. It's going to be 1 versus 1. Myself, Lightman versus Zog22 Rus. So see how things play out. He's going to be playing as Pact, I'm playing as NATO. I'll be playing my 1v1 NATO deck. I think I've only got one for all of NATO and two, possibly three for Pact. Which is interesting because I've got more NATO decks overall than I have Pact decks, I'm pretty sure, but in any case, whatever. See what happens. Zog is sending BTRs in all directions with recon infantry. Looks like he's playing as USSR, so just fast forward things a bit. Also has a T-72, okay, so pretty similar things between the BDRs as well, so T-72Bs, BMP-2s with some infantry, BTR-80s with some ATGMs, seems to be replicated across the board. Oh, and some air infantry, anti-infantry behind them as well. Except for here we just got ATGMs. So we'll see what happens though. He doesn't have any command vehicles being sent out. We've got a couple of freedom fighters evacuating because there's nothing really for them. And there we go, they're going to be running into my infantry here, right here and now. So there's Vedkas, Konkurzes and Iglas as well, and there's T-72Bs. An interesting mixture of infantry and vehicles as well. Actually, T-72Bs, okay, they're the really expensive ones as well. So it looks like my guys are not too much of a match for them, unfortunately. I didn't send too much heavy stuff there. Sending in a whole bunch of Centurions to Golf for whatever reason, and there we go. Hopefully I'll be claiming Alpha. We'll see how the Echo Point works out though. Also getting an aircraft almost destroyed by the looks of things. The Young Commanders continue to take pot shots, so unfortunately they're not really landing any hits though. They are panicked though, and down they go. Due to the T-72Bs, presumably. To the single T-72B. Yuge's also sending some infantry off towards this point here as well on Echo. In fact, I'm surprised he didn't send over here something over here actually. I didn't really have too much here. But there we go. Hopefully I should be able to do a bit of flanking, God forbid. These Yag Commandos also trying to do a bit of damage. Unfortunately they won't be able to do too much. These ones are fucking calm and they don't seem to be fucking hitting anything. Well, okay, they destroyed the BTRs, but they should have gone after the T-72, which is of course facing them as well, so they're going to be hitting the frontal armor. God damn, all those fucking misses, are they meant to be like commando units? Oh well, and also got a couple of light riflemen as well. Apparently this is where the command vehicle was actually, so if I'm lucky, I might actually be able to end the round very quickly, because my opponent does not have any other command vehicles out. I've barely got any myself though. I've captured at least Golf, really. He should have captured Charlie at the very least, given that it is worth 2 points. But there we go, he does manage to bomb the shit out of my Yag Commandos. These guys taking one shot off and that's it. Freedom Fighters coming in way too, not way too fast, way too late for myself. And we've also got a bit of a melee happening here as well. Centurions versus Rozvedkas, Konkurzes, BMPs and T-72s, oh my, and BTRs as well as Mortar and such. Still though, okay, we've got light riflemen to help out as well actually. Centurions in numbers can definitely do a pretty good job, especially in close quarter combat. So we'll see how that works out. The BMP is definitely, just see if I can get a closer view of it. Yeah, definitely doing quite a bit of damage with its autocannon though. Sucks, but there we go. Hopefully light riflemen doing some damage, although nope, they're paying to hell and back, so of course they're going to be missing at point blank range. Okay, I did not mean to zoom all the way over to the left, but whatever, we'll have a look what's going over there now in either case. BDRs are getting destroyed by my Centurions. T-72B is going to be, well, as well as the BMP-2 for that matter, is going to be presenting pretty significant threats. Unfortunately, my opponents, or rather unfortunately for my opponents, though, yeah, he's not actually expanding with command vehicles behind this. He could easily take Charlie and Delta. Maybe also Hotel as well, actually, yes. Alpha would be a bit of a stretch, but everything else he should be able to take pretty safely, really. Although it's possible he might actually not have enough points for that. Given the stuff he does have out there, man, these T-72Bs are definitely not cheap. Nor are the BMP-2s for APCs for that matter. Yeah, given the stuff he does have out though, which is all yours. Yep, nothing too surprising there. He might not actually be able to afford any more command vehicles, or maybe he thinks this is meant to be destruction or something like that, despite the fact that the game mode is pretty clearly indicated before you join, or actually yeah, before you join and when you join. So really, you should be pretty fucking well aware of when, or rather of what the actual game mode is. But oh well, my BGSs, yep, spotting these tanks, so starships, provided they can get into good spots, should be able to take him out, especially since this guy doesn't have any more ATGMs. We'll see what happens. Unfortunately, Zog does manage to establish a bit of a strong point right next to Bravo, though, so it's going to kind of suck. At the same time, though, I do have a bit of a strong point, as much as it can be, at Echo. The Alpha Jets is going to drop a couple of... okay, not too shabby, and does manage to get out of there just barely. Doing a bit of damage to the T-72B and destroying, I think it was a BTR or something like that. So we both have pretty fragile positions all around the map. My opponent, you could say he's got slightly better map control. Yeah, actually I suppose, yeah, you could say that. Not by much though. And the problem is though, he's not following up with command vehicles. I'm getting more and more score points. While admittedly he does have a bit of an annoying hold on my... Jesus, look at those fucking misses. But anyway, he does have a bit of an annoying foothold on my control zones. It's well, yeah, like I say, doesn't have a strong enough follow-up, and he's not really advancing that far forward either, despite the fact that these guys continuing to miss every fucking shot. Okay, there we go. They destroyed... I think they destroyed something there. Heard something blow up. And what do you know? God forbid they actually destroy another thing after that. There we go, more Centurions coming in. Why not? They're going to suffer against the BMP-2 though, at close ranges though, just because it does have an autocannon while the Centurions don't, but whatever, they're going to come in. Nonetheless, BTR is also going to be a pain in the ass as well, these PTR Kurzes. Centurions unfortunately will get massacred. I do have more infantry coming in though, should make things a bit easier. Hopefully I'll be getting some... oh my god, what am I thinking? Sending in the Seahawk like that right next to Motostilskis even. But anyway, hopefully I'll be getting some flame infantry as well to help secure that point. Giving my opponent a very easy win there. Destroying my precious Seahawk. Definitely got it way too close there. Probably just had it on attack move really, and I wasn't paying too much attention. And speaking of which, we've... actually I do have some recon there at the very least as well to spot what the hell's going on. Unfortunately, I can't really see much except for the Igla and, strange enough, the T-72B as well, actually. So, there you have it. Score points myself still going up, although I am retreating the command vehicle just a bit, actually, just so that it's not quite in the line of fire. T-72B hasn't taken any damage. What the fuck happened to the other starships? What have these things even been doing the whole fucking game? I mean, really, they only seem to have destroyed 2 APCs after firing for the last 8 minutes or so, or at least that's what it feels like. Well. More starships certainly wouldn't hurt, especially if some more infantry in these forests. Actually, Motostinos is going to be wiping out these the single Centurion that I've got there, and looks like my response is going to be artillery. And let's just have a look. My light riflemen, unfortunately, running all out of dragons, though, which kind of sucks. These guys do get revealed. These guys, I don't know if they've been revealed before or not, but they're hidden in either case. So hopefully, I'll be sweeping them down. See if I can take out the UAZ. Actually, it's just a UAZ, so even these guys with their small arms fire could actually take it out if they so desired. So yeah, Zog continuing to press on into Golf as well, and just yeah, just holding an echo really, not really looking to go any further forward, and probably with good reason actually. As you can see, I am starting to respond slowly but surely, and he has actually run out of quite a few missiles and all that. T-72B here finally will get destroyed most likely. I'm actually surprised he's using that instead of something from the T-80 series, but there we go, T-72B is down. Speaking of what else is down, looks like we got my Jaegers finally coming out. A whole freaking squad of them. Okay, there's a second squad. Should be able to destroy the Motostilskis provided they can actually catch up to them, but no, it looks like Zog is actually going to be allowed to heal up, which sucks, but there we go. I should have been paying a bit more attention there as well. Assault engineers should be able to take care of the Motostilskis and the Iglas with minimum losses, and actually no, not to mention the APCs actually taking on these guys from long range too. Assault engineers, I'm surprised I'm actually using them rather than the just the regular flamethrower infantry. Now there we go, they can still do a decent amount of damage with their napalm rounds there, even if they do. Pretty sure they only come in 5-man rounds there, 5-man squads there, so even if they do come like in such small squad numbers. There you go, still doing a bit of damage there, and yeah, doing a bit of damage overall. Total victory for myself. Zog 2 Rus, well, he definitely knew how to push, but he didn't really follow up from that push, and eventually I started to get his lines to crumble anyway, so there we go, interesting game nonetheless. I shall see you all next time. Welcome back again to some more Wargame Airland's Battle action. It's going to be a 1 versus 1 on the Oslo map, maybe? I think so. Yeah, I think it's on the Oslo map. So myself, Lightman, playing as NATO. My opponent, Zog22 Rus, playing as Pact. So I played against him on the previous round. He was pretty freaking aggressive, but he didn't have enough follow-through with his command vehicles. And, well, eventually I did start to hold him back, and then eventually to push him back as well. So overall, pretty good effort by both sides, but ended up with me clobbering him when it came to score points, and actually when it came to kills as well. I thought I actually got wrecked a bit during that match, but the scoreboard shows differently. So let's fast forward, see what happens. Opponents again going with a very similar setup, T-72B this time in front, followed by the BTRs with various types of infantry. For both approaches, including the good old recon as well as cargoes actually this time as well. So presumably going to be going up this flank and this flank as well. So we'll see how that works out. As myself, I've got a whole combination of infantry and various things, including in helicopters and cannon and Jagdpanzers as well. So very light forces indeed. See how this works out actually. Unfortunately, quite a few of my guys are going to get ambushed by the ATGM tanks and infantry. I do manage to get most of them into buildings though by the looks of things, so thank God for a very quick reaction time. And yep, looks like I'm going to get destroyed here as well. Yep, again reacting very quickly as well, getting my infantry out. Unfortunately I do keep on going with some of my vehicles though. It's not too severe though, so at the very least I can establish a bit of a strong point in these buildings and this forest. And there's actually nothing going to Alpha at all, so I thought he was actually going to go for Alpha, but apparently not. He's actually going to leave it all to me, so I don't think I properly realised that at the time though. I knew that my Hueys weren't taking much damage, but I thought, you know, there might have still been... interesting, SU-25. Anyway, I thought there might have still been something here, but nope, nothing there at all, so hopefully I'll be taking advantage of that at some point to occupy the role of infantry, essentially get a free point. And Huey's actually going up an MI-24P. Unfortunately my Hueys would be taking a bit of damage. What is the range on this thing actually? 1575, and yeah, these guys have got lesser range and lesser health and all that, so they won't be able to do quite as well. I should be right there, as long as I have some anti-air, although even if he runs into my infantry I should still be good. And there we go, managing to get my command vehicle into Foxtrot. Just have a look actually. Yeah, look, my opponent is making the exact same mistake they did before. He's got a stronger initial push, except Alpha. But he's, okay, the helicopter's probably going to yep. Yeah, he's got this stronger initial push, even though that's got holes in it, as you can see. But he's not following up with any command vehicles. I mean, for fuck's sake, he's got freaking Nonas behind him, cargoes, but no command vehicles, for fuck's sake, indeed. What is he doing? I mean, I know I shouldn't be complaining since he's my opponent, but still I wouldn't mind if he had just a little bit more sense in him, maybe. In any case, I'm finally going to be bringing up some infantry and cannon and Jagdpanzer, hopefully some recon infantry there as well, sending something across. We do have some anti-air at the front, not much though, and unfortunately the plane does manage to get out of there pretty much scot-free. Thankfully the T-72B is wasting its missiles on empty transports, and they're just the single point transports, so there you go. Trying to make a bit of a run with my Jaegers. I should have actually retreated as soon as I saw trouble, because as you can see, actually it's only one squad of Montestelskis and Razvedkas, but the amount of support they have from the T-72B, the BDRs and all that, and the fact that they're in buildings as well, it's going to make pretty much any assault pretty much, well, very much unlikely, as you can see. Even with the assault engineers behind them, I just should retreat and, well, either consolidate my position here, or with maybe here, actually, with these infantrymen here, and maybe do a bit of shelling as well, and then maybe try to assault after that. But as it is, yeah, just throwing away my guys pretty needlessly. These guys are actually routing though, might be able to get rid of them, but yeah, it's not like Zuffa Zvedkas can't be replaced anyway. At the very least I do retain both squads of assault engineers just barely, although they're still getting fired upon. My god. But no, they're probably going to get destroyed by the artillery now. Although no, they actually do seem to be able to get out of the way of that artillery as well, just barely, so at the very least I can replenish them back up to full health. Better than nothing, I guess, and also taking a bit of damage. Not really sure what squad got killed off there. But yeah, just getting caught out in the open there. Need to watch out when I move from buildings to buildings like that. Especially since he does actually have his own recon infantry. Although one thing I've noticed he's not actually really doing much is he's actually not putting his stuff in cover or in concealments that much. All of his stuff is pretty much out in the open, except for a couple of vehicles and infantry here, but I think that's more so coincidental than anything else. I mean, it does have, well, okay, these Eagles should be in some cover, so as well as these Concordeses, so he might actually be incredibly new. Huh. Or maybe he just doesn't know how Conquest is played out. Mercy. Oh well. Get a nice little close-in view of this thing hovering around, not really doing too much actually, so I might get a close-in view and actually starts doing something. Now, so myself finally sending in some stuff to Alpha, but Zog is also sending some stuff forward. Probably not to Alpha though, given the path that these BTRs are taking. We'll see what happens though. Actually, I need more than just light riflemen. I really could do with some regular infantry as well. But in any case, I am setting some stuff up. Cannon and Jagdpanzer will thankfully dodge plenty of missiles, it seems. I think just either from the Concordeses or the BMP-2. Huh, interesting. Again with the plane. Bit of a risky maneuver actually sending it that far forward, but in any case it's going to run into my freedom fighters. Should have waited for the bastard to actually turn, but in any case he's going to be turning away from me. So there you go, he gets taken out pretty easily. I'm not sure why he actually decided to turn away first, rather than just keep going straight over my freedom fighters and get both of them to engage in a bit of a turning war, but there you go. So also sending up my cannon and Jagdpanzers, just pressuring my opponents a bit probably, or maybe probing. I'm not really sure what my thinking was sending them out like this, knowing what lays beyond. Actually, it wouldn't have been such a bad idea if I also sent out some flame stuff to accompany them against the infantry, but I did not, unfortunately. BTR is also going to be fortifying some infantry around this forest line, most likely. They probably will not be assaulting me directly, though you never know, actually. One other thing I could also do with is some ATGMs actually to use against the tanks and such that are there. God, even sniping my cannon and Jagdpanzers from across the map, of course. Just gotta love that. Some more infantry to reinforce, so they'll be able to get into these forests relatively easily. And these Motostilskis for Zog, just deciding to stand around, so not exactly a good place to be out in the open like that, without any cover or concealment. And these cannon and Jagdpanzers are actually doing a number on these Motostilskis, despite the fact that these guys should be ripping into shreds their RPGs. But nope, they've launched two of them. Well, at least this squad has anyway. And yeah, these guys are all panicked, but they're still... Oh god, these must be very lucky cannon and Jagdpanzers. And there we go, I'm actually going to be winning another quick victory, which I'll probably be combining with the previous game, most likely. Still interesting, a couple of games, very fast and furious. My opponent basically just needed to expand. We needed to conceal his stuff a bit better and cover it a bit better, and to follow up with command vehicles as well, and also not to cede points like what he did to Alpha. I mean, he does have, okay, one helicopter, one recon helicopter, not too shabby, but it's not much though. He's essentially doesn't really control Alpha at all. He's got a bit of pressure on there, but that's about it really. That and maybe slightly better plane control as well wouldn't have hurt. For that matter, as myself, well, I could have done a better job keeping this infantry alive, putting my stuff out in the open way too frequently, to say the least. And yeah, probably should have been a bit more careful with my fighters as well, actually getting shot to pieces there. But there you go, he actually got slightly more kills this time than I did, but really, I got way more score points than he did, so there you go. I shall see you all next time.